Hello everybody, it's Foofootoo here, and today we're going to look at the semi-finals of the PU Kalos bracket. So this is really exciting. We're coming to the end stages of the tournament. There are two battles here today, and at the end of this, we will know the two finalists, and that's it. That's like those two will battle, and we will have a winner of the bracket at the end of the week, which is crazy. Then, if you don't know, there are two brackets going on. There's my bracket and Pokemon's bracket. So the winner of his bracket will face off against the winner of my bracket in like the ultimate head-to-head, and it'll be really exciting. But yeah, we're going to have the finalists after this. So the first battle we're going to look at is between Rchizzle and Westernmasspokemon. Both been really consistent throughout the tournament, both been really strong, and it's going to be a great battle. So if you look at the team matchup straight away, interesting to notice that they have three of the same Pokemon. There are two Vileplumes, two Monfernos, and two Rotom Fridges. So that's really cool. They're all massive threats in the tier, like the bulk of Vileplume, and the most Rotom Frost Choice Scarf. There are some other sets. I really like a sub Pain Split set because it's just so scary when you see a Rotom Frost set up a sub. And then also Monferno, great, so versatile, can be banded, can be nasty plot, can be swords dance. With the priority, it's such a big threat. Other things on the team, so Westernmasspokemons brought an Abra. Abra's really good. There are two main sets. You can have Choice Scarf because it's got great special attack. The only issue is that it's really frail and will die to priority quite easily actually. So it's good and powerful, but you just need to watch out for things. He's got a Marowak, which I absolutely love. With a Thick Club, it's got a huge attack stat and it hits so hard. Also gets access to Rock, so a really good choice on the teams. And then Lickitung, such a bulky Pokemon, got so much HP, and with the Eviolite, it's so hard to stay down. Got good wish passing capabilities, so that was a really good Pokemon. On Rchizzle's team, he's got some cool guys as well. There's the Wigglytuff there, which is awesome. Wigglytuff with a special attack boost and competitive this generation can go offensive, although it is quite slow. And because it's got huge HP 8 stat, again, it can be a good wish passer. I think it gets access to Heal Bell, and so it can support in that way. And then also a Vullaby, again, really bulky with the Eviolite, and it's got really good utility use because you can have it with Defog, you can have it with Taunt, Toxic, all these good things. And then the final one, Clang, such a huge threat in this tier. I've swept so many times with Clang, really good. I quite like a subset because it's so bulky and because of the great typing, Steel typing, which you really don't see that much. Its subs can survive quite a few hits, and from the common walls in this game as well, like Ordino and Vileplume, you can set up a sub on all of those, start setting up. It's really good. But anyway, let's jump into the battle and see how things fare with their kind of similar teams. Westernmasspokemon leads with the Rotom, as Rchizzle leads with Monferno, and we see the Fake Out here. Rchizzle opts just to get quite a lot of damage on the Rotom Frost straight away with the Fake Out Mach Punch combination that works out really well, and it takes the Volt Switch reasonably well as well. So this might be an Eviolite Monferno, not really sure. I haven't seen many Fake Out Monfernos. He's able to U-turn out into his Vileplume that takes the Double Edge really quite well, even though it's probably physically defensive. As I said, Marowak hits so hard, so that was good. Lickitung comes in and takes the Giga Drain really well. Goes for the knockoff on the Rotom Frost, which loses its Scarf, which could be an issue in terms of the Abra and the opposing Rotom Frost, because those things will now outspeed. And Rchizzle switches into his Vullaby, gets Toxic, which is really quite a shame, but Vullaby is going to show the great utility of knockoff right here. Even though it's not going to be doing much damage, like you don't really use it for the damage, you use it to get rid of the opponent's item. So you can see he knocked off the Lickitung's Eviolite, which is great, and also knocking off the Marowak's Thick Club. It halves its attack, it's able to survive another turn of Toxic, so that was really good, and Marowak and Lickitung are now both really crippled. Westernmasspokemon makes a really interesting play here of switching into his Abra, maybe predicting a fighting type move on the Lickitung, but the Flare Blitz was a much better option because it would have done huge damage to anything on his team, and the Abra goes down. It wasn't Focus Sash either, because Focus Sash Abra is a really good option. Rchizzle makes some good plays around the Monferno here, switching into his Wigglytuff that fortunately lives the Mach Punch Flare Blitz combo, gets up the rocks, and the Monferno takes huge recoil, so that really doesn't work out for him. So Rchizzle just gets up some more fake out damage and then switches into the Vileplume to take the predicted Mach Punch as the Monferno goes down to Life Orb. So that was really good play. Westernmasspokemon brings in the Rotom now, and Rchizzle makes a good play here. You may think it's strange stacking the Vileplume, but it means he gets a free switch into the Clang, knowing that the Rotom is locked into the Blizzard, can't switch out because it will die to rocks. So this is a great setup of opportunity for Clang. He gets up 2 and then he opts to go for the Gear Grind here, when he could have potentially stayed in and gone for more. I mean, it would be risking the freeze, but it might have been a risk worth taking. Now Westernmasspokemon switches into Vileplume, you can see it's physically defensive because it takes those hits so well, but also it may hint at this Clang maybe not being fully invested in attack. I'm not sure how much it would be doing and whether I'm just underestimating this Vileplume, but you can see here he goes to the Rest. So this is a Rest Talk Clang, really good set. It can't be burned and it's really quite scary. It could be just more bulky and hoping to get more shift gears off. But you can see it's still not doing enough to the Vileplume. He's just wanting to get up to a nice amount of HP and also be a good enough, have enough boosts to take out the rest of the Pokemon. You see him there just missing a Gear Grind, which is a bit unfortunate. But Westernmasspokemon makes a slightly risky play here, going straight into his Marowak, as Rchizzle has to Sleep Talk. He's just gone for the Rest, so he has to Sleep Talk here and gets a Rest, which is unfortunate. He has to Sleep Talk again, gets another Rest, so this Marowak is not going down just yet. He's unable to take out the Clang with the Bonemerang this turn, but then disaster strikes as Rchizzle misses a Gear Grind. So that's a +4 Clang going down. However, there has been enough damage to Westernmasspokmon's team to the point where Rotom can take out this Vileplume, seeing as though it is physically defensive, not especially defensive, and because he no longer has the Choice Scarf, he can rely on Thunderbolt to take down the Lickitung, which no longer has the Eviolite. So that was a really great match. It's nice to see the Clang set, even though it doesn't do too much in this match. But the rest of the Clang set is a big threat. I think the main swinging point was potentially the knocking off of the Marowak and the Lickitung, because he managed to really cripple the Lickitung, and it meant that Lickitung couldn't do wish passing shenanigans and couldn't switch in very easily. So that was really important. Also, the funny play with the Abra, I'm not sure if it was just sacking because he didn't have anything to take the Flare Blitz, or whether it was predicting a fighting type move, but the Abra could have been useful against a number of things on Rchizzle's team. But yeah, that was a great battle. So Westernmasspokemon should be really proud of his performance throughout this competition. He's done really well and could go home a proud semi-finalist, whereas Rchizzle is now advancing on to the finals. So he is there standing a chance of winning this tournament. A really strong performance here as well. He's been so solid throughout, so really looking forward to how he does in that final. So the next battle we'll watch is between Schady and Shorty, or the Donphanatic, and these two again have obviously been very consistent as they've got through to this stage of the tournament, but it's really been a pleasure to watch both of them for different reasons. Schady because he's been playing with some really kind of overlooked things in the tier that has been really refreshing to see. So he's got the Vigoroth, which a lot of people aren't using, but that thing is such a threat. I don't see it enough in terms of how good it is, because it's got the Taunt, Bulk Up, Slack Off, really good setup. And also he's using an offensive Noctowl. I love that set, really cool. It's got a tinted lens, so it kind of works out in that way. He's got some other kind of more standard things on his team, like Sneasel, Gramble, which is a good Sneasel switch in, and my love on his team, the Sandshrew, which has got more KOs in this tournament than it really has warranted, but it's just so good. I love the fact that it's done so well. And then on the Donphanatic's team, he has just had this really solid team throughout. He's got some big threats on there that we know, like Sneasel and Torterra, but then again, Simiport, no one is using that thing, and it is so good because it obviously has nasty plot, but good coverage with Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Focus Blast, Grass Knot, but then also can go mixed, so you can catch the incoming Ordinos with a superpower, and it just does so much damage. It's really good Pokemon that's really overlooked. And also his signature Pokemon, the Staravia. So good. Reckless Brave Bird, it destroys throws that are kind of everywhere in this tier, so that's really cool. Anyways, yeah, it's been a pleasure watching both of their battles, and now they're going off against each other, so it's bound to be a good one. So let's jump right in. And this is obviously a Wi-Fi battle, so we get to see their snazzy outfits, both in black, which is very interesting. Anyways, they're going to lead with the Simipour and Sandshrew, so not great for Schady there. He's going to switch out his Sandshrew straight away into the Dugong, which is able to eat up that Ice Beam. It's quad not very effective with the thick fat as well. It just doesn't take any damage. The Porygon comes in and Shardy's going to withdraw, double switching into his Vigoroth. Able to get the Taunt off on the Porygon, stopping it from getting any Thunder Wave off. I mean, Paralysis isn't too bad on the Vigoroth because at least it's not Burn or Toxic, but still, it's nice to have your speed, so that was a really good play. Now he's going to start bulking up, and Donphanatic makes a good play here, thinking that there's no reason for him not to go for another bulk up against a Torterra, so he gets a free switch into his Magmar and go for a big Focus Blast. But a Violite Vigoroth is a beast, is able to take that and then go for the Body Slam and Oko the Magmar, which is mental. So this thing is just showing how much of a threat it is right now, and that's what has kind of got Schady so far through the tournament. He's got sweeps of this thing, it's so good. Makes a really nice play predicting the Focus Blast going into his Gramble, which can take that really nicely, and then goes for the Ice Punch predicting the Torterra. So that was really, really nice plays right there. Torterra is going to be able to outspeed the Gramble to get up the rocks, but it just means that Schady can take it out with another Ice Punch. So that is Torterra gone. Defensive wall gone really early. Really nice for Schady. So he's 6-4 up right now, which is really nice for him. You can see the rocks doing work straight away though, as Dugong comes in and takes rocks damage, takes the knockoff, and then you see the fake out not flinching the Sneasel because of its inner focus ability, and it's able to take out with a Brick Break. That's mental. I've never seen inner focus work so nicely. So the Sneasel switches out. That was just beautiful. Gramble comes in, so it's able to take on the Sneasel really well. But Donphanatic makes a nice play here. Can bring in the Porygon. Even though he doesn't have a defensive wall, he can get the Trace Intimidate off, so the Porygon can take the hits really, really well. Now the Sandshrew comes in. Not sure if this was a prediction of the Thunder Wave, but that was great if it was, as Schady just double switches straight into the Sneasel, and that turns out to be a pretty cool play, as Donphanatic goes into the Sneasel of his own. But I'm not sure if Schady forgets here about the inner focus, but he goes for another fake out, not going to work, as another Brick Break happens. So inner focus, oh my god, never seen it work so well. The Gramble's able to come back in really easily, but we do have the Porygon that's able to stop that with the Intimidate again, and tables have turned a bit because at first Schady was looking really strong, but now a lot of his threats have been taken down. The Sneasel's gone, which is a big problem for him. He's still got the Vigoroth though, and this thing can just monster through teams, so it's still a big problem. Now the Simipour comes in on the predicted slack off. That works out really well. He goes for the Hydro Pump, and Noctowl does not take that well at all. It's obviously the offensive Noctowl and not the specially defensive one, because especially defensive one could probably eat that up, but no, it's not the case. Now he goes back into the Vigoroth, and Hydro Pump's not doing enough damage, so Vigoroth is going to be able to slack off, and there may well be a miss, so Donphanatic cannot stay in here. And he goes straight into the Sneasel, which is a good play because as Schady goes for a slack off, he really doesn't want that Violite knocked off, or else a Focus Blast might be able to Oko. It's really powerful from that Simipour. So he does go for the knockoff, and even with the Intimidate, the Gramble is not going to be able to survive a knockoff Ice Punch combination. Sneasel just such a threat right here. He has to go into the Vigoroth right now, and his Violite does get knocked off. As he goes for the bulk up, he will be able to take the Sneasel hits now and has the attack boost, but it means that he will be at low health and the Sneasel goes down. But yeah, he's at low enough health that the Simipour can come in and actually KO with that Ice Beam. That was a bit of a risky play because it still might have been able to take that, but no, it does go down to the Ice Beam. Sandshrew can come in, and that all that's left to be done is for the Sandshrew to say goodbye as it gets knocked out with the Ice Beam. Really sad to see that Mon go. So it was a really great battle. Both players played really well. There was some incredible plays. Schady had some really great predictions going on there as well. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough because the power of Donphanatic's team really shone there. So yeah, Schady should feel really pleased for himself, repping some of the more underused Pokemon in the tier. I've loved watching your battles. You have been so good throughout this tournament. Thank you very much for taking part, and you can be a proud semi-finalist. But the Donphanatic is going to join Rchizzle in the final, so this is going to be an epic match. We can see who is going to be the winner of the Kalos bracket by the end of the week. I'm really looking forward to this. Both players have always had strong teams, always had really good plays, doing good switches, doing good predictions. It's going to be awesome. And when the winner of this bracket is decided, we will then go off against the winner of John Pokemon's bracket, who has also had his kind of finals video. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description. All that's left to be said is get hyped for the final. I've been Foofootoo, you've been awesome, and hopefully see you next time. Bye.